Hey sexy roggers, today we're going to talk about how to improve at the game. As usual, we're going to try to take a nuanced approach. I'm also going to give some tips on the lower ranks as well, but as you remember, probably I've already done a video covering the topic, so I'll be sure to link it in the description. Lately I've been seeing more and more comments of people asking how to improve at the game, and I myself have been struggling a lot lately, and it's always good to ask for a different, an external third-party opinion, especially because it's arguably very difficult to be objective about ourselves, and also because sometimes we're so stuck in our own ways that it becomes very difficult to see what's the problem. As I've said before, if you're stuck in bronze, silver, gold, all you need to do to improve at these ranks and actually rank up is to practice those three things that I've talked about in that video, which I'm going to link again in the description, so check that out. Meaning end tiers, meaties, and knowledge. I'm pretty sure in that video I also explained what these terms mean and what they are, so for this video, which is going to be slightly more advanced, I'd say we'll focus on platinum to diamond. I will use some terminology as a given, meaning I won't be explaining what a meaty is or what being plus means. Without further ado, the first tip I will give you is to clean up your game. Now this is one that will never really be over in your journey in fighting games, but it's something to keep in mind. I personally have a note page on my phone where I keep tab of all of my bad habits that I need to improve upon. Now here's the problem, you also have to be honest with yourself, but you also have to be realistic with yourself. You can't start jotting down things that don't really make sense to practice in platinum. To give you an example of this is a clip from when I was in platinum, and this was my jump-in combo. Why did I used to make this jumping combo? It's very simple. Because as I will demonstrate shortly, the optimal combo requires better executions, crouching heavy punch into DP motion, and it requires confirms because if blocked you can't really continue the combo, you will get punched for a lot of damage. This is what I meant by being realistic. I remember thinking to myself, this is definitely a habit that I can get rid of and I should get rid of, so I got to work. This is more or less the combo that I would do, definitely an optimal, and these are the other two combos that you should do that are optimal and also lead to better advantage on knockdown. This is where the lab work will start, of course. I decided to put the dummy on random, counter on random, and I started from there. On block, of course, I didn't continue my combo. On second hit counter from the crouching heavy punch, which often happens when they're trying to tech, I would confirm. On hit, I would combo into pressure. This is of course just an example of one of the many things that I had to clean up on my game to improve, and of course there's still many, but I had to be realistic about it. I couldn't just go, and now I'm gonna, develop the footsies of punk. Now the second tip I'll give you, and it's probably the most important one, is to truly start understanding the throw situation. And I'm not just talking about throwing someone on their wake up, I'm talking about also the many instances created by certain characters' moveset where someone is +2 and the other person of course is -2 and you're in throw range. One good example of this is of course Balrog's EX straight into V-skill punch on hit, but also just V-skill punch on hit, up close especially. If we don't take into consideration EX reversals, armor moves, critical arts, being +2 this close means that your throw is going to collide with the opponent's fastest buttons, which is a 3 frame. That means that the throw will beat it. But in the clip that you're seeing, why on earth is Karin able to beat both throw and buttons at the same time in a single recording? Well, it's very simple. It's called a delay tech. Ever got a feeling that you couldn't crack up an opponent no matter how hard you tried? Can't throw him, can't hit him on wake up? Basically, he's learned to implement a very easy option select, which is called delay teching, and basically involves dealing your tech a few frames so you can still block a meaty and also tech on the later frames. As mighty and powerful as delay teching might sound, it doesn't come without any weakness. Of course, if you delay a button, if you ever heard about, commentators talking about, oh, that delay was sick, they're talking about this. They're trying to catch, of course, their opponent's delay tech. Another action that beats the delay tech is the shimmy, but in this specific situation, Balrog is not allowed to do a shimmy because if he tries to walk back and bait the tech, of course he's going to get thrown even by a delay tech. So what he has to do in this specific scenario is backdash and then try to confirm on a shimmy with the upper. The shimmy has also the added weakness of exposing your legs due to the walk back, so of course that will be a problem in case they're mashing a low forward. Dealing a light button has also the added benefit of possibly catching an EX reversal, like Karin's DP. Here Karin is either set up to block, delay tech, or mash DP. And of course, I'm beating all three options. As we said before, like anything too powerful, it definitely has a weakness. This strategy of course loses to someone mashing a 3 frame, for example, so the opponent might start reading you and taking their turn back. Of course, understanding your and the opponent's options in those situations, along with of course reading him in that specific moment, is what is going to make you better as a player. Just like before, here's a practical application of what I just explained. Birdie, in this specific situation, let's time freeze it here, is being put in a throw situation. He would survive the throw, but decides to tech, and of course he loses the round for it. Which leads me to the last point, number 3, less is more. As you can see from the clip in the background, Karen is set up to do random heavy punches in neutral, and even with my old boomer reactions, I can whiff punish quite easily. This means that the higher you rank up, people will be able to pick up on your behavior and quite easily whiff punish your moves. So what you want to do is give the opponent as little information as possible. This means that when you throw out a button, it should have a meaning, where you're trying to whiff punish something, where you're trying to bait something. As a visual and practical application of this, I prepared this clip of me against a Sakura, which is quite active and giving me too much information on one of her bad behaviors. Excessive buffers. As you can see here, I'm +3 on standing heavy kick, but she decides to go for a buffer. There's no window there to confirm anything. The standing heavy punch into heavy DP could have actually been a whiff punish because I did actually whiff a big button. So far I'm still on the fence. She could be just very active, she could be doing some reads, I'm not 100% sure, but this is the first tell. She misses a buffer, so this is the first big piece of evidence that this person is abusing buffers. Sakura's standing light kick into DP buffer is really good, so going forward from this moment I'm actually going to start walking forward and blocking, trying to bait these buffers. So beginning of next round I'm actually going to take it extra safe. I'm going to approach, I'm going to slightly poke, and I'm going to micro walk and block. And of course the buffer comes out, and then of course I'm a boomer and I miss my combo. But still, I expose the bad behavior from this player. Understandably, frustration kicks in, he starts doing some unsafe dashes and so on. These 3 things, and especially the last one, are things that you're gonna have to work on all the time. It's not like something that you can master in any way from platinum to diamond or even in diamond. Just keep in mind there are things in the game that can be single hit confirmed. For example, I'm an old guy and I can pretty easily confirm borrow standing heavy punch crash counter into critical art. So if I can do it, be sure to think more, press less. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you learned something, hope it was useful. As usual, remember to like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. I'm sorry for the bad mic quality, but I'm also sorry that I haven't been posting too many guides lately. I'll be sure to keep that in mind and drop a couple of them more here and there from time to time. Also make sure to join the Discord, which I'm going to link in the description. Pretty lovely community there, if I can be honest. Probably the thing I'm most proud about this channel. So also, wouldn't it be weird if I just stopped mid-sentence with an